General, thank you for the time.
Thanks, Michael. It's great to be here.
So here we are in Halifax once again for another International Security Forum. And it's been such a big year globally. I'm wondering what the key message is from Canadian forces, from the Department of National Defence, to the delegates gathered here from around the world.
Well, the theme for this year is democracies, and there is so many great aspects to explore with the theme, especially from a military perspective. How militaries nest within democracies, their role in society and in the defense of their country and their values. So again, so many great topics to wrestle with in that sense.
Great topics in service of their country, as you say. And I think that's interesting because just a few days ago you were making news for talking about a plan that you intend to present to the government to increase recruitment numbers for the reserves here in Canada. Hundreds of thousands of Canadians who are hoping to volunteer. What do you envision with this increased number in Canadian reserves?
It is about building resiliency in communities. So we bring in some skills for response to various crises that communities are unfortunately greatly vulnerable to nowadays. So just this year, and the year is not over yet, there's still a couple of months-ish, a month and a half before the end of 25. But we have deployed 7 domestic missions in Canada in 6 different provinces. So building resiliency in communities, preparedness allows them to be better prepared and ready and resilient when floods, pandemics or other types of events are occurring. So building that framework is incredibly important. So really this is what this is about.
How difficult do you think it will be, though, to encourage that level of volunteerism amongst Canadians, again, hundreds of thousands, to step up and be a part of this new reserve?
So Sweden is less than 6 million inhabitants, and they are, of course, organized based on their geography and the threat that they have. In Canada, with 41 million population, I think we have a great pool of great Canadians that will come on a volunteer basis. And back to the theme of democracies, the strength of a democratic system is having a voluntary force that does show up for service. And I think what will happen is an offering of a broad range of different skills and talent that we need. And we will need that in many, many communities across Canada. And that talent is all there.
You think there's a willingness, though?
I think so too. Anecdotally, and again, I have not made any in-depth study of this, but in many, many public forums where I show up to engage with Canadians, the question always comes up, like, what could I do to help from corporations, from individuals, from various organizations? So it will be in again the offering of a broad range of different skills, competence. It's also, especially when we're talking about the supplementary reserve, it is, it's less demanding in times to contribute, so people have their own careers to pursue, and at the same time contribute to their community's resilience, security, and defense as well.
So you're formulating this plan. When do you hope to present that to the government?
So we're looking hopefully next spring to present. So the team that's doing the analysis is currently engaging with various international partners. So they are in the UK this weekend. The end of this week, they're off to Finland. They have already engaged with Sweden as well. So looking at, again, the various best practices out there and then put it together for us here in Canada.
Mm-hmm. You know, there's also a defense industrial strategy that the government is talking about. We've yet to see what that's going to look like. But when you hear that phrase, what do you think that will mean for the Canadian military?
I think this is the foundational block to actually have a good defense for Canada. And enabling the Canadian Armed Forces to have what we need to do our work. So that's like an industrial base that can produce and can sustain the military equipment and apparatus is absolutely key to success. And also the other building block added to that is the Defense Investment Agency, a way to procure in a streamlined fashion, in a more adaptable and responsive manner. Now we're going to have all the building blocks to build the CAF that we need.
Now, part of that, though, will be the possible acquisition of the Saab Gripen. And I appreciate that's going to be a political decision, not necessarily one that comes solely from D&D. But from an operational level, will there be a challenge? Is it difficult to envision having a mixed fleet for Canada's Air Force?
So my job as part of this endeavor is to contribute and provide military advice for the government to decide. So, and I do that confidentially. So, but the current review that is ongoing is a constant dialogue. What about this? What about that? What would happen in this type of scenario? So those exchanges, that's what the review is currently doing to make sure that we are all comfortable with the facts being presented so that the government can make its decision.
Now, this is the 17th year for the Halifax International Security Forum. Really quick question here. Do you think it's still worthwhile?
It is, of course. The more we can gather a broad diversity of person coming from different countries, different background, different expertise, to exchange on the critical aspect of security is always a good thing to have, and then looking forward to the weekend.
General, thank you for the time.
Thank you, Michael.